These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Wolverine. Says, my contact confirmed that there was a pause on everything because of our safety, but it was lifted. She said this is the closest we've ever been. She doesn't want to give dates, but things can go any moment. Keep watching Iraq. Big announcements coming soon. Militiaman says they just said they're going to decrease the value of the dollar, which doesn't make any sense. How is Iraq going to decrease the value of the dollar? Only way they can do that is if they increase the value of their currency because the United States dollar is the most prolific currency in the world. The volume traded is the largest in the world. All right, Samson has an article quote, after 21 years of the dollar auction, Iraq is close to closing the window amid reassurance and warnings. All right, Frank 26, Iraq boots on the ground report, Firefly. This is reported on our television, part of the government delegating saying we will witness a rapid drop in the dollar in the coming days. Frank says, whoop, there it is. They're about to put up screens to show you the lower notes when Sadani returns. All right, Pompey Peter says, where are we? Why hasn't he pushed the button? Ever closer, ever closer. Peter says, if we look at what's in front of us, no citizens' entitlements, no budget, no rate change, that's why. We don't know what we don't know, but if we anchor in the articles, we have to realize our situation is fantastic. Mark Z via PDK question, is it true people have started to get notifications? Mark Z says, most of my sources have gag orders right now. Some have actual NDAs, and some of them are being leaned on by leadership to not say anything, especially with groups. With so many people being leaned on to stay quiet, I think this is fantastic news. With some contacts, I'm going straight to voicemail, which means their equipment is turned off. To me, this is an excellent sign, so it appears we are close to the finish line. My Iraqi sources seem to think so. All right, Claire article quote, Saleh, the budget tables are almost complete. We will take into account urgent circumstances and variables. Quote, the financial schedules prepared for the year 2024 will take into account the urgent economic and social conditions and changes required by the need for economic development in the year 2024. Militiaman says the 23-24 budget hasn't been sent to the HOR yet, but they're saying in the coming weeks there's time constraints on getting things done. They can't likely expose an exchange rate to the House of Representatives before they give it to them. They just can't do that because that would leak around, it would get out, it would be disruption. But they have to give them the information because it's a legal component. If they do what they say they're going to do and get an exchange rate out, it's likely going to be before that happens. All right, lastly, Frank 26 says, in my opinion, just before Sudani left his trip with his delegation to Washington, D.C. to visit the United States Treasury, he gave orders to the government of Iraq to start setting up the big screens because he wants to make an announcement once the delegation returns from Washington, D.C. Frank says, in my opinion, the government of Iraq is going to give the citizens what they promised them, purchasing power of their currency. He will keep his promise that he swore upon Allah. Introduce the lower notes with the new exchange rate. It is Sudani's intention to make an announcement, and we believe it will be done through these screens.